Howie's really moved outside of his shell, if we want to call it that. I've seen him go from a driver who really struggled to have a business conversation with sponsors to a driver who can, talk to sponsors about what's important to them. What do they want to get out of this partnership? What do they want to get out of this sponsorship? Be willing to listen, and then also be willing to give ideas. And at the beginning, it was a struggle because Howie, and you'll admit, it wasn't something that you had to do when you were racing late models. It wasn't something that even at the beginning when you were running ARCA and trucks and all that. But kind of getting to the point where you realize that in order for this to be sustainable, you've got to have good marketing partners. And it was like, I'm sure it was like drinking out of a fire hose. All the information, all the conversations that you were taking in, all the people that you were meeting, and then figuring out over time, learning how it's really about the people that we're working with. It's about the partnerships that we're building. I've especially seen that over the last probably 3 months. It's been even more evident to me that Howie's moving forward in a direction that he'll soon be able to have these conversations without me, and he'll soon be able to close a lot of these sponsorship deals without me even being there, and that's really good. I want to get drivers to a point where they can do things on their own, and they don't have to have somebody in the call or in the meeting, because I think it shows, as compared to what Howie was saying, is there's about 50% maybe more 50% of drivers who don't have these relationships with the sponsors. Other people do it for them, and other people set the meetings up, other people have the conversations, other people send the contracts, other people fulfill all the obligations, and the only thing the driver does is maybe show up to an appearance or show up to the racetrack with their fire suit on. And I want to see the sport get to a place where it almost was like it was back in the day. The drivers didn't care. They'd go to autograph sessions. They'd go above and beyond. They build relationships with fans. They built relationships with sponsors. And while there's still some good drivers out there that do that, what I said, we need more. We need more of that. And I think Howie's going in the direction of being able to fill that role of somebody who can talk the talk and walk the walk.
And building their relationships have been fun. I mean, I've done some fun stuff with these guys and gals as well. And it's just it's fun to build a relationship and get that contract out there, or get to the next steps with somebody. It's kind of like like when you were a kid and you would swing super high, that feeling in your stomach. That's the type of deal that it makes you get excited. It makes you more eager to get back into a race car. It's not even the fact of, hey, they'll give me so and so amount of money. It's just more of, I want to do them right, they want to do me right, and we're going to do this. We're going to collaborate and make this happen. And so that, to me, I think I'm probably hungrier more as a driver than I ever have been. And it's also partially just based off of, in the nicest way, I mean, I was a daddy's money kid for quite some time, but we got to the spots to where we needed to get to. I mean, I ran 17 professional races, with my father funding me. And, now, I guess everyone grows up and you get cut off. But, at the end of the day, I mean, I talked to my dad about this just the other day. I'm glad that he cut me off, saying, hey, man, look, we just can't keep doing this. I feel you, brother. It's a lot of money going out the window. But if I can do it and I can fund myself, I think that I'm going to be way better on the racetrack, because now I have to answer to other people instead of just myself or my dad. You see what I'm saying? So it's a big difference when you are building that relationship by yourself, and when you're going racing off of somebody else's dime. It's way different than just showing up because you have the opportunity to have a parent that can do that.
The sports continue to change a lot. I think that we've gone a long ways from the 2000s and 2005. I remember watching Mark Martin, and some of he was my favorite driver. As sports changed, it's a lot of people say it's gotten more corporate. I would say I would disagree with that and say it's gotten more unaffordable. It's gotten too expensive, and I think that's one of the challenges of we really need more drivers in there who have pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and understand what it's like to deal with sponsors and to find their own sponsors and to build those relationships. That's where we're putting a lot of our emphasis is 2024, and obviously we still got quite a bit this year, but we think a lot of the conversations are very positive, and a lot of folks are looking at 2024.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had quite a few conversations. I mean, when I say quite a few, I'm talking probably over 20 conversations about 2024. And when it's time for us to start getting that funding for that year, I think that we're going to have a pretty stellar year. The biggest thing that Austin and I talk about all the time is the storyline is what you want it to be, right? But if you have a good story behind you, it makes you more relatable. And if we can put my story and this specific person's story, it's going to be a great thing. So when we talk about 2024, I get excited about it. I'm already excited. I mean, even if I have to sit out a whole year this year to market for 2024, then we will do that. But I think that we'll have a pretty stellar year next year. I really do. I think that we're going to have the backing that we need. I think that we'll make it happen at least.
And we're going to have the marketing partners who want to grow together. Basically, is what it comes down to. The marketing or the companies that want to work with us to grow, to have great experiences at the racetrack, get their name out there, meet different and other organizations they might be able to network and do business with. I mean, there's a lot of good things, a lot of good conversations we're having, a lot of good folks that we're talking to, and they understand the upside that racing can provide, and good things take time. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, even though we want it to be. Like I said, I'm just as impatient as the other person, but we have to do things right, and we're doing things right because we're taking the time and we're not rushing.